5 ways to being more productive. Hi, I'm Hamish Hodder, and today we're going to be talking about the 5 ways that I personally stay motivated and increase my productivity in everyday life. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you stay tuned to the end because the last one will probably surprise you. Number 1, setting the right goals. So I have a very complex structure to the way that I set my goals. Actually, it's not that complex, but it's layered in different ways over different periods of time. So first I have 3 or 4 yearly goals. So these are goals that I want to achieve by the end of the year. And then what I do is I write down all the medium level steps that I would need to get there. And usually there's 20 to 30 to 40 of these kind of steps that I will need to take in order to get to one of those yearly goals. And I'll break these down into monthly goals. So then I'll have 3 or 4 monthly goals that I'm aiming towards for each month in that year. And then I also have daily goals, and these daily goals are usually very, very simple so that you can achieve them very easily. So they'd be very basic goals. Edit 1 video, do this, do that. And what's important is that you don't just write a list of a heap of goals that you need to achieve for the day in the same area or in the same sitting position, because what you want to do is you want to break up your goals so that you're constantly moving and you're constantly changing your environment so that you don't get stuck, demotivated, or you don't just get into a position where you're really easily distracted and you just click on Netflix or you just click on YouTube. A couple of little things that I do, I make the first goal really, really easy, like something like get a drink of water or make your bed. This is so that you can tick something off as soon as within the first hour of waking up or within the first couple of hours of waking up, you've ticked something off and you've gotten the ball rolling. And I think that's really important for staying motivated, because if you're always just stuck on the first goal, it's really easy to just be like, no, you know what, forget it. I'm not going to do anything today. I'm just going to watch Netflix. And the other thing that I do is I handwrite all my goals. And this is because what I found is when you handwrite out a goal, you draw a little square and you can tick the thing off. It's really satisfying to tick it off, one, but the effort of writing it down really increases the chance of you actually doing that task. And the last thing on goals, I think it's really important, just start small. You don't have to start by writing up a heap of goals and like filling your day with little things you've got to do. Just start out with 1 or 2 goals, maybe even just one goal. Maybe it's to do 10 push-ups when you wake up, or something very simple, and just build on it. And think of setting goals as kind of like a muscle. You can't just start out with a full-blown schedule and that sort of thing, because you'll just burn yourself out. You've got to start small and build your way up, and over that time you will build your motivation up. The second thing that I think is really important is you need to get a good sleep. Basically, I just have a couple of parameters to this. Try and get 6 to 8 hours of sleep. I try to turn off my screens like my phone, my computer, 1 or 2 hours before I go to sleep, and then I just read until I'm tired. And that really helps your body to shut down for the night and not be so wired just before you go to sleep. And the last thing that's really important for not waking up tired and getting good sleep is you don't want to break your sleep cycles. So you want to wake up naturally. And there's a couple of ways you can do this. The first way is you can get an app that monitors your sleep and wakes you up when you're coming out of a sleep cycle. They're really effective, and there's a couple out there. You can just find out which one works best for you. And the other thing I do is I open my blinds before I go to sleep so that the sunlight comes in when I wake up. And what this does is it stops the production of melatonin in your body, and which makes you sleepy, so it naturally wakes you up in a natural way that's not going to break your sleep cycle. Number 3 is don't stay in bed all day. What I've found from experience is that when you stay in bed all day, you just feel really sluggish, and you really don't fully wake up. And I think this is because your body associates your bed with sleep, and whenever you're in your bed, your body's sort of half trying to work out whether or not you're trying to sleep or not. So I think it's really important to, when you wake up, get out of bed straight away, and don't go back to bed until you're going to actually sleep. And this is a way of telling your brain, yep, I'm out of bed, I'm ready for the day, I don't want to be sleepy anymore. Number 4 is really simple. Don't burn yourself out. So work in small amounts. Ties back to the goals. Set small goals and break them up. You don't want to burn yourself out. You don't want to work too hard and then be more unproductive for the day. It's a marathon throughout the day and throughout a year. You want to take your time and work in small bunches. So long as you keep your work consistent and regular, not necessarily jam-packed, it will snowball and you will slowly see progression. And number 5, it's have a cold shower in the morning. And when I first read about cold showers and their effectiveness of not only waking you up but giving you a bit of energy for the day, I was really skeptical, but I've found them to be really effective. And I think what it does is it instills this kind of discipline in you where you want to push past the first couple of fearful barriers and then you get a really good experience out of it. So what I mean by this is there's a couple of barriers that you face before you hop into the cold shower. The first one is a mental barrier where you're thinking, oh boy, this is going to be absolutely freezing, I don't want to do this. Once you push through that, there's the physical barrier, which is the initial really cold water. And if you push past both of those and stay in the shower for 30 to 60 seconds, it actually feels really good and it really revitalizes your body. And it's a really good discipline because, especially in entrepreneurship, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to push through those first uncomfortable barriers to get to the stage that you want to be at. Nothing's going to be a free, easy ride. You're going to need to face a lot of challenges, and you've got to have the motivation and the discipline to push yourself through that. And I think something as simple as having a cold shower in the morning really subconsciously retrains your brain to want to be that kind of person. And the other thing I want to point out is that if you have a hot shower every morning, you're sort of succumbing to the instant gratification that is the hot shower. And instant gratification is not something that you want to get into a habit of doing. It's the instant gratification you get from watching Netflix, browsing through Facebook, eating, that sort of thing. You don't want to get into the habit of constantly craving instant gratification. You want to go for things that you put in the hard work, you work hard, you push through the barriers, and then you get long-term success out of it. And that is what you're striving for. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what kind of things you guys use in order to stay motivated. Hit like if you enjoyed, and of course if you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.